a Victorian masterpiece appeared on the Nottinghamshire landscape, as John's been finding out.
Now, can you guess what this fine edifice was built for? My first thought would be a place of worship, but it's not, although in its own way it is a bit of a cathedral of steam, because this was a pumping station built in 1884 to give the people of the growing city of Nottingham plenty of clean, fresh water. Ever since the start of the Industrial Revolution, pollution had turned many of our rivers into open sewers, and outbreaks of cholera were a constant threat. In this county, something desperately needed to be done. The job fell to a brilliant young engineer with a magnificent name, Marriott Ogle Tarbotton. And he decided to look down deep for water, and he found it right here. So Mr. Tarbotton built his pumping station to draw up the water 200 feet to the surface. Now it's a museum, a tribute to Victorian technology and design. Ashley Smart is the director. This is more than just a mere engine room, Ashley, isn't it? Yeah. It's a work of art.
Yeah, it was the most elaborate in its day, and today it's the most complete pumping station still intact.
And in today's terms, it must have cost millions of pounds.
Yeah, well, it cost £56,000, but it actually came in under budget. And so with that extra cash, it was spent on additional decoration.
How much under budget?
About £1,000.
Well, not bad, is it? And so he spent it on what?
The stained glass windows and some of the terracotta on the building on the outside.
And look at these beautifully ornate pillars.
Yeah.
See fishes there, look.
Got the fish and the plant life, and of course it's all celebrating the life-giving properties of fresh water.
And what have we got right at the top?
Right at the top you've got Egyptian ibis.
Again, symbols of water.
Exactly, yeah.
So where was the well where he drew it from then?
Here, you've got one massive well about 17 foot across from that side here to this side. And if you can imagine looking down there, there's a 200-foot drop right down to through the bunter sandstone, and there would be your fresh, clean water, and the engines would lift it up. We've had a camera that went down there, and the footage was brilliant because you could see all of the chisel marks where they actually manually hacked it out.
Oh, right, so where they used their pickaxes to create the well.
That's right, yeah.
Safe fresh water was piped to Nottingham from here for almost 100 years, but in 1969, modern technology involving electric motors made it redundant. Thankfully, just a few years later, it was handed over to volunteers, who now keep this wondrous place alive. And this is where all the action happened. Here, there are 6 giant boilers, and they look fantastic, like something out of Jules Verne. And they used to work round the clock, pumping the 3 million gallons of water that were needed every day. But all that water wouldn't reach the thirsty city without the back-breaking job of stoking. Because, I mean, it's hard work, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, for hours and hours of shoveling this stuff in.
Yeah, if you did it long enough, if that was your career as a stoker, you could end up with a curved back, you know, because you're bending down so much, doing so much shoveling all the time.
We're not in any danger, are we? No. As long as it's coming out there, it's when it stops coming out there is the time to rot.
All right. So, the boilers are up to pressure, and I've got the honour of releasing the valves and firing up the engine. Volunteer Dave Ambler is going to show me how.
Do you play the piano?
Well, a little bit.
Yeah, well, this is a very easy piano to play because it only has 4 notes.
Right.
So if you'd like to hold the red levers, away you go then. Lift them about horizontal. It's better if you get underneath the levers.
Like that?
That's it.
Oh, that's not like piano playing.
Yeah. Now change to your blue levers.
Well, I can hear it starting to move.
Blue levers, yeah.
Ugh.
And back to your red levers.
Back to my red.
Yeah. You have to change over as quickly as you can.
All right.
Yeah. OK, blue levers.
Blue levers. Opening the valves releases the steam to power those engines, but these days it's just for show. They no longer pull up water.
OK, I think she'll go now.
Right. Oh, yes. So that was all that effort.
You've done it.
Was to set this graceful machine in operation. And what a mighty machine it is. From here, the water would have been pumped to a huge hidden reservoir before it reached the city's taps.
So, I'm intrigued as to what we're going to see.
Wait and see.
Goodness me! This is incredible, isn't it? We've got an underground cathedral now, and I suppose that they really didn't need to build it as elaborately as this, did they?
No, the reservoir could be very functional, and usually they're just like big barrels, but instead you've got this nice fan arch roof for this reservoir, which is quite unique, really.
And it's still in fantastic condition, isn't it?
Fantastic condition, yeah.
Although, obviously, it's derelict now.
Yeah.
No water, only just a little bit on the floor.
Yeah. Well, it developed a crack in 1912 and was taken out of service, and it just remained empty after that.
But it's a great echo chamber, I should imagine.
Oh, it is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And then just round here, we've got the actual outflow pipe where the water would go from the reservoir down into Nottingham.
So eventually the last drops of water went through there?
And then they put the cork in.
Oh, how sad.
Yes.
For this elegant place.
Elegance and efficiency. The Victorians certainly did things with style.